Twitch is almost there. All right, and here we go, fellow riggers and friends, and everyone here going through this experience. So this is the new thing going on here. Let me see. Kind of lost the movement here for a bit. Yeah, there we go. That's how it should be behaving. And the thing is that right now we're observing some real time stuff. And also, maybe the lag is so dramatic on one machine that you're nearly not being able to observe anything. So let us stop this animation and yeah, stop this auto keyframe here before I forget. This is the title. So, hello guys. Today we're going to be going through this new stage, this new modifications to this project, and what's going to be the next step. And as usual, let's get some thumbnails going on here. So first of all, I'm just gonna try to mimic him. Let me see if I can get him in a better position here. All right. So this is one. All right, so I guess this is enough for our thumbnail today. And I also have another option here. This is me just being straight silly right now. Right, so all right, so I guess this is good enough for our thumbnail. Uh, so this is what it is, right? So what we're seeing here is the real-time model of the head that we're going to be using for this rig builder from now on. And it's pretty obvious now that I don't know if it's streaming correctly to a point where I think I'm going to have to close it. All right, so I think that now we are probably in real time. Sorry about that. That was just one of the best ways of showing it, but unfortunately, it's a tiny too slow. I have a GTX 2080, and it seems that it doesn't like Marmoset and my OBS setup here running at the same time. So nonetheless, what happens is we got this new thing going on, which is so it's not actually new. Just to recap on the story, what happens is, and by the way, if you want to participate, please leave a comment, and we're going to talk on the box at my left here, or yeah, the left of your monitor. So what happens is that in about a year ago, I was decided that I was going to start to deal with this blunt shape rig, and I have postponed it so far because I was trying to uh, figure out this Joker rig, right? And the Joker rig is was a great experience. I was very happy to work on it thanks to Chin Kayang who provided me the model. I think it's a thing that has passed by already. This guy here, we have a ton of blend shapes that comes with the pack that I bought. I spent like I don't know $450 on this pack, and it has all of these expressions and the textures for each one of them. So although I'd really like to get the Joker to a point where we could really make it available online or anything like that, I do feel like it's time to move on and just get going on something that's going to give us a lot more knowledge and opportunity to grow in terms of dealing with textures, having many of the. I don't think this is perfect. Let me get into the front cam here. I don't think this is perfect by no means. Like it's great, but it has a lot. Like it's missing many of the features, but it certainly has many of the ones that we need, such as the eye squint and browse down and nose flare and browse up, browse down, and smile, mouth open wide. So I think we have plenty of information to work here, and we have this like U shape, the Booker, the U shape, some of the phonemes. So I think that if we start to separate these features into different blend shapes, we're probably going to get a decent result. And I'm not sure of how to do it right now. I'm jumping in head first, and we're going to be working on this throughout this experience, right? So this is the first episode where I'm putting this out. I have no name for our fellow here, and I'm going to think about it. I don't think they have it online. If you have any suggestions for the name, let's figure this out together. Please leave a comment, and we're going to talk about this. So uh, what we have in place then is uh, a bunch of folders here with the uh, the FBXs and the OBJs and all the textures for each one of these expressions that he has and that he's demonstrating here. And on the Photoshop file, I was just trying to organize it. All right, so yeah, this is what we're going to be working towards. So Lil Tro is back in the house. How's it going, man? Welcome back. Here you go. Boom, Lil Tro. Thanks for showing, man. Showing up. Let's get it going. All right. So as I said, we have this new guy here on the scene now. If you haven't seen it, the model working, you can go to the first uh, minutes of this stream, and you can see what we're going to be working on. So basically, it's this set of blend shapes, and we have the neutral shape. So what we're going to be doing then, let's close this up. So what we're going to be doing is we have worked on the Joker here so far, and we have made some progress on him, which is great. But as I said, one of the reasons why I'm moving on right now is because I love this character. I love this model. It brought me a lot of good stuff, and I just wanted it to be finished, but it lacks a lot of stuff, and the energy that we're putting on this guy at this point, which already got to the point. uh, I mean, it gave us what we needed for the purpose of that test, and now we need something that will take us to the next level where we're going to be trying to get as close as possible to something that can be used with metahumans, with Apple, uh, the Apple AR kit, which is going to give us the reading of the face, and then maybe we can transfer this animation into this new guy that we are still trying to figure out a name for him. So yeah, that being said, we don't have a project for him yet, or I think we have, but I would like to set up everything from scratch. Uh, and at the moment, this guy here already has this thing. Maybe I'll copy this. I'll probably copy the school, and then I'm gonna try to match the school inside of his head, and from that we're gonna keep moving towards. So we have the neutral pose for him here. Although I feel like his mouth is slightly open, and I don't know if that's going to be an issue, and it might be. But given that we're working towards auto rig, so a rig builder, uh, we can then get back and fix this if necessary, and just rebuild it. And it's weird because I feel like not many of the expressions here have that the mouth closed. So as I said, the advantage here is that we have all the maps, we have everything in place for us to work on this guy. So hey, Lil Tro is saying here, uh, I've only looked into rigging for games. What you do still seems logic, seems like magic, man. Glad to be here for the fresh start. Yeah, thank you. It's no magic. It's something that we, if you keep doing it, eventually it sinks in. And I guess that's one of the things. That's one of the good things of be working live and sharing this information. Maybe we all learn something from it. I know that I learn a lot from doing it live because I'm just focused on this thing, and that's one of the main reasons why I do it. Although I like to obviously share information, I also am better on the focus when I'm talking to myself here and to Lil Troll. All right. So thanks again, Lil Troll. Appreciate it. Uh, okay, so I'll save this rig here. Take this off the template folder, and I'll just export it because we're starting this new project. Yeah, I was reluctant to do this. I didn't really want it to uh, move on, but it's time, man. I just feel like it's going to take time one way or the other to build this, and as soon as we're finished with this Joker, if I continue to move on in this project, as soon as we're finished, we would take like ages to finish, first of all. And then when we were done, it would be like, I don't know, months in. And I could have easily just invested this time into this project. And that would be, something new, something fresh, something that we can all look with brand new eyes and hopefully learn a lot. How long do you usually work on a single thing? I mean, it depends on the objective. So, Lil Troll saying here, boom. So he's saying, how long do you usually work on a single thing? It depends on if you're talking like on a session or in terms of a project that I'm embracing. So if I am embracing a project, such as this guy was a project for me, let's just see if it's running here. Yeah, so it's working. We just exported that skeleton, and now it is bringing in. So if you don't know what's going on, it's this rig builder here is executing all of these functions here, and I cannot really enlarge this, but it's on the list goes check project, create new scene, setup regroup, import rig template, import template geo, import model geo, setup modules, and then import control shake. So this is the basic actions that we need this rig builder to do in order to just to see something here and get started. We're going to be developing more methods as we go to really build a rig. Uh, Oh yeah, so back to Lutro question. Yeah, I mean it usually takes sometimes to try to squeeze the process as much as possible. It really depends on if you're trying to figure out um, the development on the fly, or if you know already what you're trying to achieve. The projects that I do live here, they're usually ideas, they're new techniques or new attempts for resolving problems. So it usually takes more time, right? I'm not executing, or it's not like a tutorial where I already know what's the outcome. Just like this thing that we're going to work now, where we have like a bunch of different heads and blend shapes and the different maps, and we're gonna have to develop a controller. But this is all like aimed towards improving, really improving the techniques that I already know, and trying to get into the next level of the thing, especially because the bar is now so high with this MetaHumans thing and the Apple AR thing. It's all very crazy at this moment. So uh, when we like how much time it's gonna take, I'm putting the time in. Like I'm trying to do like one, I don't know, maybe skipping a day for each session, but as many sessions as a week as possible. And still, it's going to take like a long time. The sessions are being from 1 to 2 hours, and there's going to be a lot of work. There's some exciting work. There's some stuff that's going to be visual, where they're going to be importing the 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 model and see it working, but there's going to be a lot of cleanup work, and just like what we're going to have to do right now. So this is working. I'm going to move on because I'm talking too much and not executing, and that's what we actually need right now. So I hope it answers the question, as best as possible here. Thanks, Donas. Appreciate it. That adds value to the streams. Thanks. Oh, Leo Troll. I was with Leo Nas in my head. Leo Troll. Thanks, Leo Troll. All right. So here we go. So as you saw, we have this folder with all the shapes here, and this is a different project, right? And I'm gonna have to start restructuring by creating a new project. So I'm just gonna set everything from scratch here. So set project, sorry, project, window. Then I'm gonna do new. And the last one was the 24th. So this is just a way for me to organize myself. So that's the 25th project. And this is going to be, I don't know the name of this guy yet. This is just going to be facial, facial rig builder dev. So yeah, I'm not gonna go too crazy. Maybe I'll change the name of the project later on. But right now it's just gonna be as straightforward as that. And so basically, if I run my rig builder again here, what's gonna happen is, first of all, it's going to check for the information inside of the project, right? So just so that you have an idea of what I'm talking about, the project has just been created, right? So this is the new project, facial rig builder dev, and then here you can see that asset has no files inside of it. If we go to data, there's nothing inside of data. If we go into, well, it's basically just two folders that we're using right now, although scripts is also going to be used. But right now, that's mostly, we're going to be adding more to this, but let's just run this. What's going to happen then is going to prompt me. So it needs a few folders to be able to get the data from. And, or in the beginning, we're going to be storing data inside of it, but it knows, the script already knows which folders it needs, and it's checking that none of these folders here are inside of the project folder. So what we're going to need then is just to say yes, and it's going to execute all of these actions. But at the moment, there's nothing to import, there's no data. So what we can see though is that right now it created on the assets folder, it created all the hierarchy for this data that we're going to need very soon, right? And this information is still not 100% sure for me. Maybe we're going to have to, let me see if I should increase the volume here. Uh, yeah, and maybe we're gonna add more of this information in the future. Maybe we're gonna have more folders and something like that. But right now, this is all it needs to check. So immediately, then what we will be able to do is start importing stuff, right? So what we can do here is just get our previous project that we were checking out. So I think it was this one, main office rig assets. And I'm just going to get this one here. So it has a, FBX folder with all of the different FBXs. So eyeball and blah, 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 blah. And I don't know if I want all of this separated. I don't know how much that is an advantage for me. So let's see what happens if I drop all of these guys in here. So this is the neutral poles with the FBX, correct? Yeah, so we can see here that it's a minuscule face in the center of the world here. And this is our neutral poles with all of the components of the face. So there's eyelashes, there's the eyelids, there's the eyeballs. Let's see how these eyeballs are looking. Pretty round, really good. Yeah, so we have as I said, we have the maps for all of this. It's going to be great. Now, one thing that I don't know about is so as I said, it's all being developed on the fly. I have the meshes. This was all bought. This quality of mesh is bought, right? I spend a few $100 on it, and yeah, this is not a flex, by the way. It's just, I wish I could get it free, but I couldn't. There was not. I even tried like a partnership or something, but I guess it's just not good enough yet for this kind of thing. So first things first. Yeah, thanks, man. It's not mine, as I said. So Leonax, Literal. I'll tell you what happened. I watched the Hot Ones. I don't know if you ever heard about it, and it's an interview with the show on YouTube, and I was looking. I watched Lil Nas X on. I don't know why, and then I have Lil Nas in my head, so I called you Lil Nas like two times. So, but thanks for the comments, Lil Throw. So Lil Throw saying looks pretty damn good. Yeah, that's props to the model. Or this is a scan, right? So props to the modeler there. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's all good, Lutro. I'm confusing myself. It's not you. All right, so as usual, this all can be better, but we're going to start from just getting started and move from there. And that's the beauty of having the rig builder, because we can simply add stuff in, and if we don't like it, we change it, and it imports automatically, right? So that's the major thing about it. And yeah, let's just add this. So this is, so I'm also sporting, you see, I'm also sporting this manually, which is not necessarily great. We should all have patterns for this. So for the name of the model geo file, we should have like a name or something like that. But I'm just gonna say model geo for now. And you will be able to then see that if I delete this, or even if I delete everything on the scene, now that's exported into the project file, and I assume I'm on the correct project. Oh, yeah, it is bringing in. I think it didn't update the information, but yeah, we are on the right project, and it is bringing in the head as we exported. So now it is bringing it directly into the model geo group with the hierarchy that we saved it. So now, ideally, we would uh, rename all these things and just have it uh, with the proper naming already, so that we can keep moving on. Another thing that we also need is to uh, configure or set up the height of this character, because you can see that he's like I don't know, a few centimeters close to the floor, and also he's not in centimeters. So one of the things that I can do is set the project back again into the Joker, and I'll just run this, and you'll see that now it is going to build the Joker instead of this guy here. Right, so you see, man, that's amazing. I feel it's so how you say it, uh, fulfilling. It's not fulfilling, but satisfying to just have things built in front of you, not having to open a file. It's all separated and organized, and that's just a great feeling. Let me keep an eye here on the chat. Yeah, so I have a few friends here watching today. So thanks for stopping by and being a part of this. So all I want here is to get our geometry templates, and this is basically the skull, the jaw. So it's the bones here, skeleton, geo, and the muzzle. So I'm just going to unparent this and export the selection. I'm going to do this inside of our new project here. And it's assets geo, it's template, and it is the skeleton geo. Skeleton template geo. Maybe the template isn't unnecessary, or anyways, but I'm just going to keep it organized in the best way I can right now and keep moving, as I said. And that's the good thing about the streaming as well, because you gotta keep moving, like you cannot. It's very hard to create interesting content on developing stuff, but at the same time, it's a good challenge. So you gotta keep it interesting, as minimal as possible. So this is going to be then the muzzle template geo. And now, if we go, I also want to export our skeleton here. And this then is going to be in our, it's going to be system or what, template. Oh, I don't know. Okay. Let me just add this to this at the moment, and then we're gonna move it somewhere else in the future. This is gonna be skeleton template, and this is not a geometry. So this is just what it is. And now if we go back and set the project to our new project, what we should be seeing is, yeah, but you can see how off proportion it is, right? So we have the skeleton here. So what we want at the end of this is to have this guy here. So it would be something on the lines of like just having it like this. And after we're done with that, what I'm going to do is also uh, adjust the skeleton here, the skull, so that it fits inside of his head. Because then after that, he is going to the script is going to be using the positions of some of the vertex to build the mouth, part of the mouth system. And so Lotro is asking, why do, back into the comments, bang. So here we go. Why do you need school in this kind of rigging? Is it for the muscle sim? Not for this one in particular, Lotro. I'm pretty sure there are ways to simulate the muscles in the face, like if you use the Ziva dynamics. But from what I know from Ziva right now, they're using the simulation system that they have to basically simulate the blend shapes, or to add like flashiness to the blend shapes. So not even Ziva is using a muscle system for the face in particular, just because it does, I don't know if it makes sense, honestly. At least in the stage of technology that we are, like just simulating the muscles, and then, well, maybe this project will take us in that direction, some one way or another, and we're going to be able to rebuild this and add new features. So this might be a good project to try, even something like this. But regarding the question of why do we need the school, it's because the school is standard. So let's say this is a school template geo, right? So what happens is we have the names of a few vertex here. So say, let me just separate this for a moment. So say that I have stored in a JSON file the positions for this particular vertex here. So it's vertex 3536, right? So we have in the JSON file that this vertex and this vertex, for example, they are responsible for the zygomatics. Oh boy, I'm not showing the thing. Sorry about that, guys. So yeah, basically I'm just checking like one vertex here and the other vertex here and storing this information. And then another script is then going to recall this information. So vertex 881, and then it's going to refer to this mesh and this vertex, and it's going to xform or query the position of this vertex, and that's then going to give us the positions for the insertion and the end of the muscles in the face. I'm not sure if we're going to be using muscles for this one. Maybe for a, because we have the blend shapes already, right? But maybe we're going to be using the muscles as free deformers or something to add on top of this muscle strips or anything, or whatever you want to call them. So we have 4 people on YouTube, and we have 2 people in Facebook, and now one person in Twitch. So man, that's awesome for me. Well, it's ridiculous in a way because it's nothing, but at least I'm not talking by myself today. So thanks for stopping by, and yeah, if you want to talk and make some questions, we're boom here talking to basically a little troll here. So yeah, I am then going to be either saving this. I don't know if I want to change the height of this character. I don't think if it matters that much, because right now he has the same height as the Joker, which was 173, and that's the height that this school is right now. So another question that I have is, how are we going to deal with the other uh, meshes that we have? Because we have the other shapes, right, that we need to add as blend shapes. So do we need to take this in consideration while changing this mesh? Because we're going to have to zero out or to freeze the transformation for this particular scale, meaning that all of the other meshes, they are saved on a different scale. So what I need to know then is what happens when let me close this template folder for now. And let's observe this on the standard my shape. So what I'm going to do now is just zero out the scale here by freezing it. Oh no, freeze scale, and that should freeze all the guys inside of it. So now the thing is, and the question is, what's going to happen once we import the blend shapes? I'm assuming that it might just bring this shape here into a smaller form. But let's do that. Let's import one of the shapes. So let's just do mouth open wide. Let's get in with an FBX. So I'm just going to bring in the face itself. We're brought in, it's down here. So now what I want to do is select both of them and just blend shape. There's no node, let's create this node. And then now, let's see. I'm feeling like this is gonna move. Pretty sure, yeah. So it does work, but it moves the face into a smaller face. So that being said, so Lutro is asking or saying that thanks. All I know is there's muscle simulating cinematic rigs. I'm very new to this. Yeah, I guess everybody's new to this. I guess that Unreal Engine and app in Epic is leading the way now. Nobody knows, so it's just like Epic and Ziva and this guy's a. So obviously, Digital Domain is doing a great job of the facial rigs as well, but it's not accessible as MetaHumans, for example. And yeah, we're gonna try to do something that just works in a smaller scale, right? Maybe we can scale it up further, but right now it's just on this scale. So this is a problem, right? We need to rescale this guy. I'm just trying to think here. What can we do to try to import all the shapes here and edit them? Because there's a lot. Each one of this. So there are 30 blend shapes, and they are they all have their all of the files. So they have like eyeballs, and I don't know if it's necessary that this is the case. So I really don't know right now. Just thinking here if I should import. So one of the ideas that are coming to my head is like, okay, so should we then import everything to the scene, increase the scale, save everything again? Um, So we're basically going to have to write like an entire software or just entire script just to do this modification because you have to do it for all of them, right? And I'm assuming that all of them are the same, but also I don't know what's faster to have it saved as FBX or MB files. You're gonna have to talk to some people about this. We have the Z tools, the textures here, so we have like all the textures, and then there's different textures for each one of the poses. So you see there's a lot of data management, and that's one of the things with facial rigging in large scales like this, because this is not even the largest scale, right? So hey, how's it going? Are you still alive? All right. I'm more or less, just so you know, I'm more uh, on the sleepy side today. But anyways, let's keep moving, right? I guess that's the way. All right, so yeah, little troll's still in the house. Okay, so are we going to access all of this? I think I have something that I wrote before thinking of this issue. Julio is back in the house. Hey Thiago, you started late today. Yeah, man, I did. Let me bring in the comments here. Boom. Julio Cesar from Mexico. Julio Cesar is asking me, is telling me that I started late today, and indeed I did because I was working overtime today, and now I am here. But I'm just checking out if I have anything that can help me. I know I wrote this before. I'm just not sure. It should be in my utilities. Photo blunt shape rig dab. I think it's this. Ha! Is this separate shapes? Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Look at that. So there is a way. Okay, we can test that. You can see because I did this before and path structure, main folder, shapes folder, obj. So I decided that I was working with the obj instead of the. Oh boy, that's going to be a hard call here. Yeah, I mean, let me watch the data again, guys. This is going to be one that is going to require a lot of back and forth here. I'm just trying to think of how can, because we have the asset here, right? And we have all of this face shapes here. So how can we fit this data into our new, and also how big is this? Oh man, this is 52 gigs right here of information. So yeah, I'm guessing I'm not going to be. It's going to be transferring this, I guess. Man, this is a lot. How much space do I have? Yeah, 50 gigs, Lotro. That's it. Oh boy. So I have the space, I guess. It's gonna be throwing space into the air. It's fine. Let's do it. Let's see how fast it copies though, because I'm feeling it's gonna take some time to copy this. And my initial thoughts are that this is going to go into blunt shapes. There we go. And this is a solid state drive, by the way. So yeah, wow. Let's talk a little bit. So let's talk about a few things on the industry, for example. If you have any questions about the industry and the visual effects industry, uh, I have. I'm not the most experienced of all riggers, but I'm doing this for a few years now. So, like 3 years, I guess. And yeah, maybe I can help with something like that. But I'll tell a bit of my story in like 1 minute. So I am from Brazil. My name is Thiago. I am a facial rigger currently working on digital domain, and I am I've been to a few companies here in Vancouver. I came here to study at Vancouver Film School. Arrived here on the middle of the winter. Found an apartment. Started from scratch and sold everything that I had in Brazil. Came here, and then I went into Vancouver Film School, dedicated myself into facial rigs, and then I got out. Started as a character artist on EA Games. I stayed at EA Games for about 6 to 7 months. Started changed contracts to Bardell Entertainment, which I got a rigging position for the first time, and then I moved into Zoic Studios after 6 months. Got out of it in the middle of the pandemic, so lost my job. And then in between gigs, I got an opportunity in Scanline Studios and Scanline Visual Effects, and then I got back from to my contract then ended and was still in the middle of the pandemics, and Scanline got zero work at the time after the contract that I had. So then I got back into Zoic for 3 months, and then I finally got my opportunity at Digital Domain, and it's a challenge every day, man. It's a lot, but I mean, I'm thankful. And yeah, that's the story in a nutshell. Not that anybody asked. I just don't have anything right now that I can say. And well, we can keep working. So uh, while it is transferring there, you can see that it's going to take a while. Uh, what I am thinking then is, okay, I can import all of these rigs or all of this facial shapes. Ideally, in my head, I would be like importing all of this into the scene, changing the scale, and then doing applying the same changes into all of the shapes. That's just silly. There gotta be a better way. I mean, uh, so Luttrell says I'm more into games to be honest, but I'm fascinated. Yeah, that's a fascinating topic for sure. Games are great. I've worked with that and it was pretty good. So it's almost done. Because actually, I don't even need all of these things. I need only either the OBJ, this guy, or the FBX. I don't know why I've chosen the OBJ before. Let me check how are all our UVs on this guy here. OV editor. Yes, it's pretty good. Maybe not perfect, but that's pretty good. So I believe we're done. So what we need here is inside of this FBXs, we have all of these guys here. And how can we transfer the scale now? And also, should we keep them as FBXs? So a mesh, hey, we got a new friend here commenting. Umesh Panigirihi, how to stay motivated when you are new to the industry and you are still trying to adapt to the company and the workflow. Dude, that's a hard task. I always find, I like solving problems when I'm working on companies. So I'm always trying to seek for any problems that I can get my hands on to, do something new. Or but in the beginning it's really hard. You really got to get through it. I think that I like to get like that new opportunity or working on that studio that you wanted, but then I hate the first week. It's just terrible. You feel like you're starting everything again. You don't know where anything is. Even if you open Maya, you don't know where to find anything or the pipeline or. But I the hardest thing for me to manage lately in terms of motivation is how fast the industry is moving and how much I don't know, or even if it's going to be possible for me to get close to like meta humans or anything that these guys are doing right now. But the thing is, it's always one step at a time. And I think that the mindset that got me working this time and getting back into this was uh, the industry is expecting some skills from you. And what you're going to face in the industry when you get in is if you don't have some stuff demonstrated, you're not going to get some certain opportunities. People are not going to trust you to code or to, if you have nothing published in terms of coding, nothing solid, you don't have a UI published. Uh, you're not going to be the go-to guy for that particular thing, and there's no other way to get it. You got to go there, you got to go and do it. So my mindset right now is whatever this gets me, or like, I don't know if this is going to be the best rig builder in the world, but I know that at the end I'm going to have something that I can show, and that's going to be a next step. And maybe the next thing then is I don't know. I don't know how many craps I need to make until I actually get to do something like that is really next level. But I guess that's the thing, just one step after the other. There's no other way. And I think that this is what we need to have in mind. Like you just do better than you did before, and that's going to attract you new opportunities, and then you go from there. You keep pushing. That's the only thing I can think of right now. Bear in mind that I suffer from the same questions. And yeah, that's it. Sorry for the extra talk today. So we have these guys here. So we have blend shapes. So yeah, that's a good thing that we can write. Let's just write a method here to import all of these guys, and then we're gonna figure out, even if it's so one thing that I hmm. So this is our rig builder, and this is the project. It's fine. One thing that I would like to add into this rig builder, and this is probably a point where I need to stop for that, is to be able to add to the rig builder uh, a like right now we have the top node here as face rig, but I would also like to be able to have like the utils tab, where we're going to be able to add just a few specific uh, methods that are just for resolving problems, such as importing all the blend shapes, I don't know, making modifications, saving stuff. And this is something that we don't have right now, that I might have to get into maybe even now. So we have the rig builder UI. The thing is, let me try to remember here that we are adding the face rig. It's almost hard coded. And let me remember this before I actually forget how to do this thing. Because it's I'm creating this UI, but it's so much information that you're checking all over the place that eventually you just forget what you just did. That's why you got to do it over and over, I guess. Okay, so we're calling the buildable, but I want the function that it's actually building the. Yeah, so here's the problem. I can try to add a new top level node, but it's not gonna work because the way I'm checking it is just stupid. I'm just assuming that the first item is going to be the. So instead of having an index, okay, I'm trying to figure out here one thing. If I stutter or if I freeze, I'm trying to think. So I'm gonna do it so that we can see to get see together what's going on. and why do I need the changes that I'm going to make. So we have this thing here, which is the way we're registering the methods, right? And right now we are inheriting from this buildable, which is registering the first top level item, which right now is face rig, right? So the parent then it's root, and I guess what I should be doing is instead of having it index equals 0. I'm not I'm still not explaining the issue, but let's do it again. Let's talk about it again. So the thing is, if I want to add another root level item, such as this face rig here, this is the root level item, right? Top level item. If I want to add another one of this, I would have to just come here and do like self dot register, and let me do that. Just copy here. I would have to do like I'll call this preview with dash here, preview details, right? And I don't want the top level item. I want it to be parented to the root. But if I do it right now, it's not going to work. It's going to crash. I'm going to show you. So if I open it, you see, it's going to crash because it's not ready for that. It's doing the thing in the wrong way. So how are we going to fix it then? Well, this then the problem itself goes back down into the data structure here. Maybe it could be different, but at this moment, I'm just going to fix it the way that I'm thinking, and it's related parent item name. So I'm just going to do like different way. Instead of using the index, I'm just going to say if parent item name equal root, then we're going to have what we're looking for. So hey, Amesh, I hope that so Amesh left us this beautiful question here, very well structured question, and I hope that I gave a proper answer. So yeah, feel free to ask your questions. I'm working, thinking, and answering. It's not perfect, could be better, but yeah, I'm just trying to get through this. So I believe that now that should be fixed. Yeah, boom, we got it. So we have the pre-built utils. Great. Easier than I thought. So do I want this? I don't know where do I want this to be though. So Amesh is saying here that definitely that I've answered the question. Thanks. And pipelines are complicated, but slowly and steadily getting used to it. Man, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it, dude. Keep going. You're interested. You like the topic. You are at I don't even know what time is it for you, but for me it's 11:25 p.m. So you are here with we're together here learning. So this is a good sign. All right. So then what's going to happen? Well, there's nothing registered there, which is fine. It's 12 p.m. here. Yeah, yeah. So we are in yeah. I don't know if it's similar time frames, but that's good. Yeah, little troll is saying that as long as you're doing it, you're doing it, man. Yeah, true. I mean, you got to just keep walking around, you know. Once I spoke to the guy that is the CEO or the creator, the founder of Tree Lateral, which I don't know if you guys have heard about this game, the Star Citizen. And this guy is the guy responsible. His company was bought by Star Citizen to create all the faces there. So trilateral. I believe it's not even bought by Star Citizen. It was bought by the Epic. Anyways, this guy is just creating this gigantic system that is working on thousands of faces inside of the game, and it's just realistic, you know. So I asked him how did he how did he get there, like how you know how he did it, and he just said that he was working on the same problem for like years. I don't even know, 15 years. So yeah, yeah, true. Lotro is saying that the game is coming in 100 years, and I agree. It's probably going to take a little more, maybe 200. It's going to be 200 to get the single player campaign, and then another 100 to you know get the entire game online. But still, it's a beautiful game. I don't know where they want to get with that, but you know. All right, so we got that pre-built thing. So one of the objectives here that I added this new method here, the pre-built method. And this is the project. I don't know if I should have it in the project. It's a pre-built, so let me add this here. It's going to be right before the root. Or right before the face rig. So instead of having the face rig first, I'm gonna have that little guy there first, right? And then we can have our pre-built methods inside of this. So what do I want here now? Yeah, this is actually not really necessary, I guess. I could be declaring this somewhere else. Yeah, I'm just thinking here, guys. Okay, let's start writing some stuff and then we're gonna figure this out, right? I'm gonna write it here. Print all paths, blah, 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 blah. This is the project. I don't need the project right now. Let me just type in such as something like details methods. So I'm just gonna add this into this place right now. And it's going to be like import all shapes. And that then should be just add a pass here right now, and I'm going to do like self dot register. It's going to be import blend shapes. Setup. I don't know, blend shapes FBX. So this is not going to be our final function. This is going to be in our pre-built tools. And this is going to be the methods of that. Import all shapes. Let's see if it's loading it. Yeah, so it's in here, as you can see. Import blend shapes FBX, and that's the good thing about the RigBuilder, because you can just then execute functions directly from this spot here instead of having to run the functions from somewhere else. You can just double click this, and I have something written down here already, so that's something I'll probably be using. Separate shapes, import shapes, spaces, rename folder. I'm just checking out what I had done before. So let's quickly read this function here. So it's just getting the folder here, and the folder path is something that we're going to give it. There's a mash list, so for folder and folder list, so it's going to query all of the folders of the blend shapes, and then the shape folder is going to be base name. Oh boy. Okay. Shapes. Okay. I don't think this is the way that's going to, I don't know if it's going to work like this. I don't know what's the function that we need to use to import the FBXs right now. Let's just quickly check that. My Python import FBX. The one that I have there is using file. Yeah, so it's just import, I guess. Well, although he is saying that, yeah, it is import, so it should work. Let me just check the structure of the folder here, FBX. Then it's .fbx. I don't know why I used the obj before. I don't even care because I'm not going to be using obj right now. So let me just throw this thing here into our rig manager here. Bunch of classes. Okay, so this is a very specific function that I've wrote specifically with this purpose when I was testing this before. So what it's doing is just accessing that folder structure, and it's going to go here into the FBX, and then it's going to find the one that has the same name. So it's going to be the neutral, right? So this is the neutral. And that's all that it's doing. So we're using import all shapes, and then let's just start writing this. So what we're going to be writing is first, we need to get our blend shape folder, right? So that's saved already. We have this, so self dot hierarchy, I guess, group hierarchy dict, and then that's going to be blend shape. Let's check that. Group hierarchy dict. I don't have blend shapes here. That's not what we need though. Guess it's in the project. Project directory dict. This might be a little confusing. And then we have the blend shapes here. So this is our path. Check again the name of the folder of the attribute project dict. Project directory dict. And that's what we need. So this then is going to be parsed into the import shapes. And then, honestly, as long as this works, I don't even know why I'm changing to FBX, I guess. I didn't need it to do that, or I didn't need to do that. So it's FBX. Just check the name, capital letter, then FBX here. Shape name, FBX. I don't know if it's going to work. It's highly unlikely it's not. Okay. To reopen this, open this, and run this function, so it crashes already. Blend shape. There's no key blend shape. So what do we need here? Shapes. Just missed the key. And that's one of the reasons why like using attributes might be better instead of using like a key, because you can mistake a key name and that's not going to pop up for you. Okay, so it crashed already. Crashed, but it did import one of the shapes, so that's a good sign. Or not, or was that the one that I brought myself? That might be, right? Yeah. Right, so it didn't import anything. Or did it? Import shapes, mesh goes list relatives, group. What's going on here? No object matches name, neutral, geo, neutral group. Huh. And why is that though? So it is giving it the correct path, right? So let's just start adding the good old print statements. So the obj here, or so I just print the obj here, which is not obj anymore. Hmm. It's not bringing in anything. Why is it like log file FB neutral FBX? So am I not joining the correct thing? Yeah. What am I doing? Glove format, folder path, path structure, specific to project, goes through every blah blah blah. I mean, that might be wrong here. List. Oh man, what have I done on this function? This is not new stuff, so I'm just trying to see if I can make it work, but I'm just starting to feel like I'm going to crash this thing in half and do it again. You see the structure of the folders that I'm working with. So inside of blend shapes, then I'm passing it the blend shape folder, passing it the blend shape folder, and I'm getting everything. So I'm just going to print this folder list for now. Let's see where I'm missing. Okay, so it is printing all, so it's getting the folders, right? We can see here. But with a completely crazy naming. Fine. All right, so we are printing that. So there's a folder list. It's going to a folder list. I don't know why I need this list of relatives. I don't even care about this. I just want to import this file. Neutral FBX. Let me see if it's FBX. It's neutral FBX. It's here. So let's try to replicate this muff. Let's try to import this file by hand. What is this though? Okay. So we'll just call obj here, and I'm going to call it, I believe, this guy. It's not an obj. It's just an old naming. So let's just put bracket or semicolon here. Import true, type FBX, import version true, blah, 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 PR. I don't know if I need everything here, so. Shape name is not defined. What is shape name? I don't even care at this point. It doesn't matter. Group shape. File not found. Why is that? So it's correct, but it has a bunch of, oh man. Is it all because of this thing here? Yeah, it's closer, but it didn't come true. Why? Just clear this. I didn't see what came on. File log. Warning: frame rate mismatch. The imported scene rate 30 FPS differs from the existing 24 FPS rate. Imported animation keys may not. It's bullshit. You know what? I'm just going to export this and be able to free myself from this. RigBuilder tab, geo, mother geo, mother geo. The commitment right now it's very low to that particular geo, and it doesn't really matter. So I can rebuild the scene that should bring us, yeah, the model on the correct place. And let's see. Ah, that's silly. A bunch of flags that I have no idea what it means. Let's go back to the research. Why couldn't it find the file? Here at least, why couldn't it find the file? It's talking about a scene mismatch. That's man. Okay, so we're stuck on this very simple problem, which is that what what is what is this? Why? What happened to you, my friend? Whoa. Okay, that's new. Was it here before? No, that was because of our FBX. It's nuts. School bond geo. Oh man, what happens if we do a new scene here? Oh, look at that now. Oh, it worked. Did it though? Yeah, it did. All right, so you can see that as an utility on a new scene, it is working. Great, so you don't need to go nuts on it. So see, this is the greatest advantage of the rig builder. This is just great, but it's going to be a problem nonetheless. So yeah, we have the script works as we expected here. We have all the shapes. So this is one step, and this is just an utility. And also each one of these utilities has like a bunch of files inside of it. You can see that's pretty nuts what's going on here. But this is more or less what we have. So I would think then that I would have to import all of the shapes, add them into a group like this, but I would have to import all of the files inside of each one of this and then export all of them as one single MB. Yeah, that might be the case. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like I need to do this. Because then importing it will be easy, right? So you can see that then we have this now we have the so if I just do a new scene here, although it's complaining about something here, like a 30 FPS, whatever here. Let's just change it to 30 FPS so it stops crying. All right, it's now 30. Are you happy? Let's see. No, it's not happy. Or is it? Yeah, it is. Yes, it's saying that it was able to import the file. So now it wasn't complaining about anything, and yeah, this is the great thing about having this utility section here. So it's a pre-built utility. We're going to be adding a bunch of different utilities here to bring in the blunt shapes for adjustment, bringing in the geo for adjustment, and anything that we can use like that we need to set up before the build. We're going to be adding it to pre-built utils and just have all these functions added so that we can manipulate some of this data. Because you see that this is something that if you look at the file structure here, the thing is we have this blunt shape folder with all of these files, and then we have the FBX folder. So what this script is doing is coming in each one of these folders into the FBX folder, and then it's grabbing this one guy here and just importing this one guy. So how would you possibly do it manually, right? It's impossible, or at least I'm not aware. You know, how's it going over there? Are you good? Everything all right? Cool. Let's keep moving. Can you see the bags under my eyes? This is a sign. This is a sign. All right. Yeah, so Liltro is asking here if we are just about to scale it. I would have to also add all of the other meshes inside. So I'm just importing the neutral right now, but only the neutral is not going to cut it because we also have all the other things that I'm not sure if we're going to use all of them, such as eyeballs, but certainly the eye wet is going to be distorted with poses like this or whatever. The facial structure changes or the mesh of the face changes, the some or many of these are going to be changing as well. So we need to have them scale all together so that we can bring them and or save them as a single MB file and then bring it back in the correct scale so that then nothing breaks when we add them as blend shapes. So yeah, that was a step. That was good. We were able to make this work, although I don't know if this is the best script I've ever wrote, but it's working. We're probably gonna have to make it better right now. So yeah, maybe I'll have this as like a version 1, and then I'll just do a version 2 here. Because right now what we're gonna have to do is, first of all, I want to have all this print statements here gone. I would also like to, so I'm looking for the FBX inside the folder. I'm getting the FBX folder. So what I think what's going to have to change here is instead of getting this, so files, file list. I have a folder list, which is fine. I have a file list now, and this is not going to be it's going to be like glob, and then let me just see how I did it. Yeah, glob. and then it's going to be the folder, which is fine. And then instead of having the shape name here, I'm just going to have like all FBX files. Now what's going to happen is instead of importing and I'm not really using this file data here, so I don't know why this is why am I even using this. And I'm just gonna call this file. There's nothing assigned to it right now, but we're gonna have it. Let's format this properly so that we can actually observe what's going on here. Right? It's a bunch of small flags, which is ridiculous. So yeah, first of all, this already I can tell that this was a problem just by looking at it. Uh, so I'm just going to do what I should have done in the first place, which is Python. So it's Maya file, and then I'm going to search for this. So it's PR. Got here. Preserve references. Because if you don't do this, then unfortunately you just don't know what's going on, you know. It's just a cleanup job. It's not nice. It's OP options and turn new nodes. It's actually some good information. And then RDN. There's no RDN? Why? I mean, how come? Yeah, it's just like one thing. Oh, okay. RDN. And then the last one is GR. Group reference. Right, so we have all the flags here and a perfectly tight written down. So yeah, I guess I got the question from our friend Lotro here, and Amesh was also participating. Thanks for the questions, guys, and for sticking around. All right, so I'll do this, and then I'll do like for file and file list. It's going to import every one of the files, right? So now it's where it starts to get tricky here. Because this is not going to work. Because we don't have, boy. Yeah, I'm going to have to check what's going to happen here. I'm not really sure. Let's check. I don't think it's going to work, but who cares? Start a new scene. It's set to 24 by default. I need to change that. 30 is the best. to reopen this so that it loads the new information. Well, good thing is it's working, right? It is bringing all the freaking meshes, but they're gonna come all scattered apart. This is no bueno. Where's Julio? No, no bueno. Look at that. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. It's a lot of meshes. Okay, so at least we know it works. Yeah, so this is the neutral with all of its elements, and each one of them has the same thing. Huh, so we can see that some of them actually don't. So what's interesting then is that indeed only for each of the models or each of the shapes, only the ones that have like for example here I assume that the eyelids moved or something like that, and then yeah the eye water teeth didn't change though. It's kind of weird. I gotta say it's kind of weird why some of them have and the other ones don't. Is it Is it real? Is it not inside of the folder? Let's check. So we can see here that, for example, the MM doesn't have anything except for the main mesh. Is that correct? It's not correct. Then why? Could be a memory problem. Okay, but it's progress. It might not be ideal, but we are making some progress here. Okay, yeah, it might also be adding them to a group. I mean, is it necessary? Group reference. What does it mean? Group reference used only with the R or the I flag. It's important. Use it to group all the imported references items under a single transform. So that's not really our case, not at least right now. And also, what is it returning? So nodes. I hope it is returning the nodes. Import type FBX. Ignore version. Merge namespace on Clash. Preserve references. Why do I need to preserve references? When used with the import export flags, this tells the import exporter to import export references as references instead of copies of those references. Wow, living and learning. I think I need this for now. Options, SO. I don't know. What is that? Okay, let's go again. Zero this thing out. There's a lot going on. All right, so we're going here to 1 hour and 40 minutes, and I think I'm going to be done in a few minutes. That's midnight already. Gotta go. Yeah, so now it seems like it became a little more confusing, to be honest. Less of the files were being imported. I don't know what's going on. So I didn't actually check the. So I added like nodes here, like node list. So it should be like return new nodes. Let's see what it's about. Used to control the return value in open, import, load references, and references operation. It will force the file command to return a list of new nodes added to the current scene. Fine, fine with me. So I mean, what is even doesn't even make sense. So it's going to be file or uh, uh, pose pose nodes or something like that. Pose node list equals to list. And then the pose node list. Oh my god, my brain. Then it's just going to return the. So for each one of the files, then what I want here at the end is for it to be grouped. So MC dot group pose node list name. It's going to be whatever group dot format, and it's going to be shape name. Oh man, let's see. I don't know what's going on. My brain's stuck already. Is importing. It crashed. Okay. So it did import the first set of geometries that were in the folder. Why did it import two times? Tear duct. Why does it have two? It's a naming problem. Why does it have one? Type error. What's the type error? It's invalid. For what? Group. Can I group this? No. I should be able to group this. Bunch of full names. Oh God. Okay. Let's do it differently. So it's appending a list. It's called, let's say, instead of append, let's do extend. See what happens. So first of all, on you. So now we're not gonna have like a bunch of lists inside of a list. I think we're getting through it. Right, guys. So whatever happens here, I'm just done for today. I'm dying, but it works. Wow. But but it's not important everything. So that's the thing. I mean, why? Some have two, but we're getting closer. You know what I mean? Like it's okay. It's a first step, and this function is not really variable. So I mean, it is a very specific function. So what we're gonna have to be doing next is just doing something like this, expanding it, and then rolling it up and having it all at the same place, so that we can then uh, yeah, do an exact match to the neutral. So all of them are going to be authored at once, saved. Then we're gonna have to create another script to save all of these groups inside of its own MB file. That's just then going to be imported by the face rig here, our face rig method. So which is just right now it's working. Fortunately, it's all good. Boom. It's working properly. All we need is to be able to export this whole blend shape set and have it on the exact same spot where we're going to be able to then work with it. You're going to have to think about this. Why is it not working? Is it named differently? Something is wrong, you know? Maybe it's maybe the FBX on the other files are like with it's also all the same. All the same. It is getting into the folders, it is getting the shape name, it is getting the file list. Right? All right, guys, that's it for me. I highly appreciate the company today. Today, tomorrow we're gonna have more. So just recapping, Today we decided to change directions into this rig building system. Just change the mesh, the base mesh. It's going to be good. I'm feeling positive energies about this, and I think this is going to help us to learn more about a different process with more information, where we already have the mesh with all the shapes and all of the maps and everything. It's already we are doing different processes to process this data. So yeah, so we decided to change this, and we added a method and a new pre-build utilities to our rig builder. We are then working on this function to import all of the FBX files, and then we're going to be grouping them together by shape or by pose, and then re-exporting all of them together in a single MB file, which is then going to be imported as a shape and then added into the scene. How important is this? I don't know, because after you actually add this shapes into the the mesh, the neutral mesh, then you can export them as a dot shapes file. So yeah, again, this is all processes that we're going to be working on, and as soon as the conditions changes, or we're going to be understanding the bigger picture, like how's it going to be once we add all the shapes in, how are we going to deal with this information, just keep moving, right? I guess that's how it is. So once again, thanks for stopping by today at midnight. We end this live, and we cheer for progress, one step after the other. Have a good one, guys. Bye bye.